Hello all and welcome back. Well, I'm going to go back to when I was about 14, but to an album. As you can see, it's Genesis, which is from Selling England by the Pound, which was released in 72. I used to have a school friend of mine, Freddie, and I was messaging him the other day, actually. First time I'd spoken to him in many years. And he used to badger me, well, badger everybody, about how cool Genesis were. But meantime, in the family home at my own house, my oldest brother was also, and still is, a big Genesis fan, going right back to, I guess, to Selling England, Duke, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and progressively ever since. But this is the Firth of Fifth, and this is with Peter Gabriel at the helm, vocals and writing. What I can tell you, what I know is the Firth of Forth is an estuary in Scotland. I know that because at some point we seem to believe, I think it's Dundee way, I think, that maybe one side of my family kind of come from that way, but I don't know. It was certainly a word I heard in the past. So I can only assume the Firth of Fifth is a play on words. But I know about the album. I haven't heard the song. My other brother, he also recommended this to me. He said it was a great song. I do like Genesis, but here we go. This is the Firth of Fifth. Well, I think it's just a play on words. I kind of got you on that one because it is actually the Firth of Forth. Yep. Here we go.
They've seen the way to leave. He rides majestic past homes of men who care not or gaze with joy to see reflected there the trees, the sky, the lily fair. The scene of death is lying just below. The mountain cuts off the town from view. Like a cancer growth is removed by skill. Let it be revealed. Madrigal, an inland sea with symphony. Na 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 na. Untie
You know, I'd forgotten, well, I hadn't forgotten. You can just hear Genesis are well known for being master musicians, all of them. And you have to go right back then. This was kind of definitely their progressive era. I know they kind of morphed into other areas, but I think they still maintained that musical element to their songs. It just became like less pronounced than this is. You've got that sort of arpeggio style piano playing, as if it was like a guitar, some kind of instrument. Because I think the song, there's a couple of words in there I don't know, which that madrigal on Dynal's songs, you can kind of guess, but it's the enunciation and the pattern of the words. It feels like this is an echo to a bard talking about the journey of the river, because it's on Dynal's songs, urge the sailors on, till lured by sirens. Now, there's often that story, isn't it? We've all seen Jason and the Argonauts and the myths of the sirens that lure men to destruction or to great reward, but generally to destruction. So maybe that on Dynal and the I guess the mermaids that were calling, maybe they wanted the same thing. I don't know, but you've got a waterfall is madrigal and inland sea is symphony. I made note of that. I don't know. Maybe that's the river of life for them. That's because it would have been, the river would have been fresh water, which would have fed all the farmlands, all the people. That would have been how they stayed alive. With dirty water, unflowing water, you wouldn't have had nothing. So it's kind of like this story of a river, and the river itself is observing the world, and it kind of can't see everything. It can't see the town, but the town can see it. But he can. It's kind of like that story, but it's beautiful. And we're just getting to that stage now where the music dynamics has changed. So it's till lured by sirens cry, and the flutist. And here's me thinking only Jethro Tull did flutes, Ian Anderson. So clearly they must have borrowed Ian Anderson. No, but it's a reminder of what I don't know about Genesis. Yeah, in the early days. This is really cool. Let me hear the rest of it, because I kind of need to pull it together a bit more to see if what I'm saying is making any sense whatsoever. So give me a minute or two, and I'll hopefully I'll be able to wrap this kind of up. Not up in a bad way, but it's really cool. It's just musically brilliant. The whole sound gives me the flow of a river, the increased dynamic, and the timbre of his voice is definitely sort of spoken, but it's got that really different feel to it. It's not like modern English, if you know what I mean, whilst he's South African, or Zimbabwean, sorry. Here we go. Let's pull it back a bit. absolutely makes sense. That what a Mr. Hawks, what a beautiful solo. Absolutely haunting, very open. It beautifully played, but it wasn't huge runs. There wasn't pentatonic scale runs. He was taking us through that. Almost feels like one note, but it's not, right? Through, as if the river, now we're saying now as the river, that fits. The music changed from the flutist, and it had that more open, more rushing feel. So to give you that visual of the river making its way down as the pressure which it would have pushes it out into the open sea. And so Neptune claimed, I think, something, and gods and men. It's something, I think it's the river has now gone into the sea. So whatever it took with it is away. It's now at the hands of the gods and men. Yeah, something. But I can visualize it. It's that whole journey of the river through the landscape in which men would have lived in sort of medieval times. It's beautiful. It's going to finish in a second. So, yeah. It's such a big song and a big tune. I'd have to hear it 20 times before I can make real sense. But that's my gist of it. Let's finish it, but it's goodbye from me. This will end. No need to worry, guys. Join, click, like. It's entirely up to you. The channel, people are coming to watch, and I hope you stay.
So with gods and men, the sheep remain inside their pen until the shepherd leads his flock away. The sands of time where he rode by the river of constant change.
I said I wasn't going to speak, but I will. And I think that final verse, that beautiful, the river of constant change, it's just bringing through and going past life. Yeah, it's beautiful. Take care, guys.